Hello, friends. All right, so we're a couple of minutes early, so we're just going to give it some time, probably till about 12:05, just because usually people come late, and then if I start and they miss the beginning, people can get quite angsty. So yeah, we'll wait till 12:05. If you need to go to the toilet, grab a drink, sort your children out, now is your chance. If you have something that you'd like to ask before we begin, totally pop it in the chat. And then, yeah, we will begin in like 6 minutes, I think. Yeah. Cool. So this is a link to the slides. So if you want a copy of this for later, type that into your browser up the top, and I'll just pop a link in the chat, and it will bring up the slides for you to keep. And in the slide deck, there's heaps of like freebies and templates and things that I've put in as well. So they'll be in there for you to have. Yes. Cool. If you need to leave as well, totally just take a copy of the slides, and if you need to go, then totally go. There'll be the session will be recorded too, so there will be a copy of this online later today. My internet's been playing up a little bit, so it's a little bit hit and miss as to time frame. I have a quick question regarding the size that a Google slide should be to use Seesaw. Oh, good question. It doesn't really matter what size it should be. I always do mine landscape. So you change the size of the template through File, Page Setup, and then you can change it via centimeters. And I changed it to a landscape piece of paper, which is 29 by 22 or something. And then when you upload it into Seesaw, you can actually make it smaller. So even if it is quite large, you can actually shrink the size of the template on it. But if you want me to show you that, I can message me after this and I can run you through that, or make a little video to show you how to do that. Yeah. Cool, no worries. Are you able to cover how Google Slides can be used on Seesaw? I can do that afterwards, Joe. If you send me a message, then I can do that after, just because I want the focus of the session to be about what we're talking about, and I just don't want to take it away from that in case it's not going to be relevant for other people, that's all. But totally get in contact and I can help you with that. So we're just going to wait until 5 past, just because I've found when I've started bang on 12 and people haven't made it in time, sometimes they message me and they say, what have I missed? Where's this? So we'll just give it a couple more minutes just for those people that are still coming along. So the link to the slides is just this one here on the screen. You can make a copy of it by typing that into your browser, or it's also in the chat as well. So while the session is running, we'll be utilizing the chat, just because it's easier if you guys are all muted. That way we don't have everyone talking over each other and things like that. Yeah. Cool. So I'm actually quite nervous about this one, just because there's been a lot of controversy around teachers setting work at home and how much is too much, and it should be on well-being and all of that sort of stuff. And I 100% agree that it should definitely be about well-being, but also at the same time, if we think about how much time we are losing and they're only with us for a year, it is a lot. So what I've tried to do is find like a happy medium between activities that they don't need to do online and some that they do online and some that they can just do at home that is around well-being. So it's I'm feeling really quite anxious about this, sharing what I've got, because I know that it's not going to please everyone. And some of you might be like, oh my gosh, that's way too much. Some of you might be like, what, that's not enough. And I'm putting myself out there. I don't know. For this particular session, I'm a little bit more anxious than I am anything else, just because of how judgmental people have been recently online. So I really hope, fingers crossed, that you find this valuable, and that we can all be professionals about it. Just because I've had a few people message and say things that perhaps maybe people shouldn't say, a little bit of judgment. So but you guys won't. You guys will be amazing. I am really excited to share this. I've been working really hard on developing my ideas. I attended an online PLD with this other lady from America and have got some of her ideas which I've adapted and changed for what I'm doing. And just a little bit of background before we start. I am teaching year 0 to 2 students. So this is all targeted at little kids. So if you find something that you like that's for my class, you can adapt it and change it to make it suit for your kids. Emily, you say you can't hear. I think everybody else can hear. You need to make it so that your audio, under your audio settings, you need to be able to approve it or connect or something. I can't help you on that part because I'm pretty sure everybody else can hear me as they're typing comments based on what I'm saying. So Emily, sorry, you just need to approve it somehow in your settings, or leave the Zoom and then rejoin back again and it will prompt you with the audio. Cool. Heaps of people. Oh, nice. You guys are so cool. Heaps of you guys are saying you feel super lost. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. And I think quite a lot of the anxiety is coming from not knowing and being in the unknown. And because none of us have obviously been in this situation like this before, where school's been basically shut and we've all had to move to this online learning. So it's, we're all learning, we're all in the same boat. And if what I've got can help you, then that is awesome. If it doesn't, I mean, take it or leave it. It is what it is. We're all professionals. Bottom left corner says join audio. I made that mistake the first time I used it. Oh, cool. Thanks, Jamie. Cool. Okay. We are going to start. It's 5 past. If people turn up, or if I just stop talking, it's because I'm just sharing the link with people who are messaging me, like right now. One moment. Cool. I'm on, I can hear you. Oh, lovely. Awesome. Cool. So like I said before, the link to the slides is here and it's also at the very top of the chat. If you scroll all the way up to the top, it will be there. And you can make a copy of those for yourself and they're not going to disappear. So the link to the slides will be there forever, and you can come back or refer to it as or when you need to. Cool. So just some helpful tips for this session. Please keep your microphone switched off. I think I've changed the settings so that you can't actually unmute yourself. And there will be question time at the end, or if while I'm talking and you have a burning desire question that you need, definitely pop it in the chat and I can answer that as I'm going. And the session will be recorded and it will be shared online at the end, probably later this afternoon, because my internet is not very good at the moment and it takes like 4 hours to upload to YouTube, which is always good fun. Cool. Okay, so just a really quick little bit about me, just because this is branching out to a few more people I might not have connected with already. My name is Jordan. I work at National Park School in National Park, right by Mount Ruapehu, which is amazing. I currently teach year 0 to 2 students. So this is what most of this is going to be targeted at. I love technology. I have been using technology basically all my life. I'm a CSOR certified educator, Google trainer, Google innovator, and an ICT lead teacher. Cool. Okay, so the outcomes for the session, I'm going to show you and explain to you what I have planned. These are real examples of things that I have got going for my classroom as of this week. I'm going to show you maybe some other teaching strategies that you might not have thought about or thought, oh my gosh, maybe I could use that. And then some ideas and templates and links for you to take away and use as you please. Cool. So first, what have I got set up? So for my home learning, I've got 3 things basically that I'm using. The first is Seesaw. So I'm using Seesaw to communicate with my parents and students and to share photos and activities and work that they are doing at home. This is something that I have had going the whole year. I have not set Seesaw up specifically just for the lockdown. I actually have been using it so my kids are knowledgeable and have practiced using this tool. The second thing that we have got up as a school, so there are 2 classrooms at my school. We are a rural school with 42 students, so a very tiny school. We have created a school Google site that we have uploaded all of our information onto. So there are 2 pages on this site. There's 1 page for my class and 1 page for the other teachers' class. And all of our work and all of our learning and all of our expectations are put on there. So it's like a one place for parents to go. Then once they're there, it will have the links out to the other activities that we've got, but basically they come to that place as like a first stop. The third thing that I'm using is Zoom conferences, and we're doing a daily Zoom every day, Monday to Friday, for half an hour, and that's like a little schedule, which I'll show you in a second. We're also doing Zoom for daily flag time as a school. So we have really strong practices at school around our daily flag time, and we begin our day every day with the flag and our karakia. So we're going to be connecting every morning via Zoom for that for 15 minutes. We're also going to have an assembly on a Friday for half an hour, and we'll have virtual certificates and sharing and things like that, and utilising the breakout spaces on Zoom, which my principal has organised. So she has signed up for the paid version as a school, and she will be running those ones so that we can have the breakout rooms to be able to communicate with students and mix across the school, which is a great way to connect and things. Then we have also going to have one-to-one student-teacher Zoom sessions. So sort of like conferences, but not. And those can be booked in with the parent and the teacher in advance. And those are only for 2 days of the week in the afternoon. So they run for 15 minutes. And I only have 6 sessions on Tuesday and 6 on a Thursday. And if they book in, fantastic. If they don't, that's also no worries. It's an optional extra time with the teacher. So what do I have at home? I do not have a fancy setup. Some of you, if you're heavily on Instagram, you might see these amazing, fantastic pictures of these elaborate setups. I don't actually have one. I have a desk. I'm lucky that I have a small whiteboard, which I have put on the wall behind me. I have made a sign to help my daughter, who is 8 and tends to come in a lot while I am doing online recording, which is always a great time. And I've just got a laptop, and I'm really lucky to have my own iPad as well. So that is my setup at home. What did I send home originally? So I was really lucky. I had some time. We had 2 days to sort ourselves out, basically. I had 8 students arrive on Monday, on the Monday that we got told about the lockdown. That afternoon, I went nuts and printed off my pack, which I had very luckily already organised online. I just hadn't printed it off. So I sent home this really great activity sheet here, which is activities that are not online at all. There's 16 there, one per day. And I put a link at the bottom and said that if they want to take a photo of what they've done and share it with me on Seesaw, choice. They are non-digital activities. And I also sent home a few other things. I sent home a few instructional level books, like we're talking 3 or 4 each maybe. I did an insect response sheet, something that we were doing in class, some maths template sheets, writing templates, and a spare book and pen to write with. That is all I sent home. I was sort of in the same boat as many teachers, trying to scramble last minute, trying to get some things. So it was very minimal what I sent home. I'm just going to pause because I've got a couple of questions. Are all your kids on devices at home? I have all my students are able to access a device. So whether it might be their mum or dad's phone or a laptop or an iPad, I'm very fortunate that I don't have any that can't access anything. But when I explain my lessons, which are coming next, there are non-device versions that they can do. Next one, are breakout rooms only available on the paid version of Zoom? Yes, it is not the free version, it's the second upgrade. You can purchase the breakout rooms. I think they're $45, I think it is. And then you can, in your Zoom session, have breakout rooms for groups that the runner or the organizer of the Zoom session can sort out. Yeah, cool, okay. So this is the first of what I have got set up. So it is a weekly overview, which I send home to parents and explain what we're doing each day for our Zoom sessions. This is so they are prepared, I'm prepared, my principal knows, and we're all sort of in the same boat. And what I've got is I've got a theme for each day. So that's just like something fun, a fun element to bring to the Zoom session. So it's not just like a boring, let's just sit down and do something. It's something exciting. And I was really lucky we had 2 practice Zoom sessions before the holidays. So that Thursday and Friday, I actually ran 2 online Zoom sessions. The first one was like a, let's just see what this is like. And the kids went nuts. It was amazing. Then the second one, we had a funky hat day. So they had to wear a funky hat of some sort to the Zoom session. The second part of it is targeting a curriculum area. So I do still want to target some of those key concepts that we have been doing in class. I don't want to lose that. The Monday is always set for going over the home learning for the week. So there's no real reading, writing, maths type thing. It's always just like a generic, this is what we're doing type situation. And then the last part is what they need to have with them. So usually it's a pen, a paper, a book, coloring pencils. And then this one down here, the hundreds chart, is something that I sent home in the maths pack. If you want a copy of this, if you click on that template, it will actually take you to this that you can use to make your own for your own class. I like pink. Pink's my favorite color, and I like pretty. That's why it looks quite girly, but that's just me. I'm just going to stop. There are 2 questions. Oh, one's about my earrings. Lovely. Sorry, we'll keep going. So this is what you do. You click on it and it will take you to the template there that you can make a copy of and use for yourself if you like, or edit it and make changes if you don't like pink and prettiness. Cool, let's just go to the next part. So how do I run each Zoom session? Oh, it's a big giant line. Did I do that? They are half-an-hour sessions. They start off with us connecting and usually doing a quick round of checking in with everyone and what we've been doing so far and catching up from the weekend. So I'm guessing this week on the Wednesday when we have our first one, the kids are just going to do lots of sharing about the holidays because it's been the holidays. Everyone is always muted while I'm talking, and I usually just push mute all and they all get muted, and then they realize that they can't say anything. Oh, someone is drawing on my screen. Who is doing that? Let's see. I'm just going to stop the screen share for 1 second because someone is drawing on my screen and I don't know who is doing that. That's slightly scary because I've been hearing about how people can like screen Zoom bomb, and that would be really awkward if someone did that. There you go, it's gone now. Hold on, let me just. Okay, cool, we're good. Yes, no more screen bombing. Lovely. I'm actually just going to lock the session too, which means nobody else can actually enter the session now. Cool. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So everyone is muted while I'm talking. If they have got something that they want to share, they can use the chat, and I did show them how to use the chat. I'm really fortunate that my parents also know how to use Zoom. They have been using Zoom for a long time, and they are really confident users with Zoom. They all have their own Zoom accounts, so they can log in safely to the sessions that I run. I screen share in the background what I need to, and I do unmute as we go, so it's not all silence. I just know that when I have 18 year 0 to 2 kids talking at the same time, you can just imagine what it's like. They're all just like, hi, blah, blah, hi, blah, blah, hi, blah, blah. It's very fun. I try and include interactive aspects while the session's going, so it might be a read to, it could be some singing. I tried Go Noodle, my internet was laggy, and my kids said it basically paused on my face the whole time, which was really great. Or we've done scavenger hunts as well, which is cool. Awesome. Okay, so going a little bit deeper. So this is what I send home for the week. So I am running a must do, may do, you pick type program. That is because I personally don't want to come in from the point of view of saying you must do this, it must be done, blah, blah. So I've got some things, yes, that they must do, and that is due over the week. So it's not, there's no, this has to be done on Monday, this has to be done on Tuesday. It's the 4 activities that you see here that are the must do's. Those are due in on the Friday. So they have the whole week to get that done. I then have some things that they may do. So they could choose something from this as well. I've got something like spend 10 minutes on Teach Your Monster to Read. That is an app that we've used in class that they know how to log into, and I also sent home the information to parents. I've got something else like help mum or dad make dinner, take a photo of what you've made. And then there's some things that they could pick from. I created this home cover sheet here, which I have uploaded on our school Google site, just to explain to parents what it looks like, because this is going to be strange language for them, a must do, a may do, and a you pick. So I really kind of wanted to make it as simple and as explained as possible for them to sort of help me, help them, help their children. So that's how it runs. They get that on a Monday. I talk through it, and that is their activities for the week. It doesn't change. Those are the set activities that they get on a Monday. Can you work out who drew it? No, it wouldn't show me who drew it. So I'm guessing someone just hacked in, which is really scary. So yeah, especially because I have a password, but now it's all locked, so nobody else can get in. What I have got as well is at the end of the week, there is a Google form that they fill in, which just lets me know how many sessions they came to. So on the Friday, they would fill it in, how many sessions they came to, and what activities they have done. So it's like a check-in, but it's at the end of the week. So unpacking how this explicitly would look over the week. So on a Monday, in my Zoom session, we would connect first, talk about what we've done, talk about what we did on the weekend, maybe do some sharing. And then I would bring up this slide here to talk through with them. I would also talk about the non-device options. So for example, here I've put read 5 books on Epic. Epic is a tool that we have used in class or at your home. So I would tell them that they could choose a book from their home. It does not have to be on a device. Writing a description about an insect you see at home. Well, I've sent them home a writing book, so I would tell them that they could write it in their book, or they could use the note feature on Seesaw. So I'm trying to think of an equivalent that is not online at the same time. Complete the maths seesaw activity. So our number of the week will be the number 11. So there's a number of the week activity there on seesaw for them. But then in their pack, there is also a number of the week blank template, which they could use for a non-device version. I would then stress to them that if they can't use a device, if the device that they can use is only for the Zoom session, to then choose activities off the home learning choice board that I send home, because all of those are non-device versions, okay? So every Monday, this is what I would do. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not doing any other curriculum areas. I'm simply just unpacking the learning for the week. Could I please have a look at your Google check-in sheet? Yes, I can show you that. Does this number of the day, etc., link to the seesaw activity? No. Now, so, okay, this is simply just a slide that shows them what they need to do. Now, I don't actually have, I'm just going to try to see if I can, hold on one second, I want to try to see if I can find it for you so that you can see. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing. I'm just going to switch screens to this one here. So this is what it looks like unpacked. So there's your front cover. For parents, it then has sub slides which unpack exactly what it could look like for them with some links to help them. So there's a picture of what the seesaw activity looks like. Now you cannot link a seesaw activity to a Google slide deck. It does not work like that. Seesaw has the login option. So even if I was to link this to the seesaw activity link that I have got in Seesaw, it will not work. You can't do it. It is an impossible task. So you can't link from Seesaw to Google Slides, okay? It just can't be done. So this is the Google Slides home learning that I will have on the home learning website. It's got my cover page here. Then it's sort of broken down explicitly for each of those activities to sort of unpack it for parents. So if they were to think, okay, right, what does it mean by writing an insect description? This is here for them to see. They could see an example by me. They've got the 3 words there that we have used in class, and this sort of sits behind for parents. So this is, I'm thinking everything, this is all for parents. This isn't for me. This is sort of to unpack it explicitly for my parents to help ease the whole journey. This is what my Google form looks like. It's got their name, the date, and it's just a yes/no situation. Have you completed your check-in? Did you read 5 books on Epic or at home? Did you write a description? Have you completed your math seesaw activity? And what days did you come to the session? Very simple, not complicated, very simple. Let's just check the chat for that. Can you put Google Slides into Seesaw? Yes, you can put Google Slides into Seesaw, but you cannot link it to specific activities, okay? You can't do that. It can't be done. There is no workaround. Seesaw does not have an answer for it because it can't happen. I've been trying so many different ways to try and link the activities and no luck. You can't. It just can't be done. The only way for you would be able to create screenshots like I have, like for this one, and basically just stress to the kids, you're looking for the activity that looks like that. You can't link it, okay? Cool. Right, let me just unscreen. Oh wait, I've got another chat question. Makes sense. Cool, good, awesome. Sometimes I think I mumble, but it's because I just get so excited about what I'm saying. Cool. Okay, let's move back to, so that's what I do on a Monday, okay? That every Monday, that is the same. I would also model the activities on Seesaw if I had time, sort of like you would do in class when you'd have your model time, you'd be up there doing your teacher talk. I would do the same thing, except just online. Cool. Okay. Tuesday. So on Tuesday, my themes are my theme is reading. My curriculum area is reading. And what I would usually do, what I would usually do, I haven't done it before. What I'm planning to do would be to first read a book to the class online. So I've done this before. It was very interesting. It would be a book that I have at home. I'm lucky that my daughter is only 8.5. She's got tons of picture books. If I didn't have a book to read, I would use an online one off ebooks or off Epic or just off YouTube. I would then have some questions to ask them or to prompt discussion during the reading. So basically, it's like a giant shared book. You would have a waltz. So say, for example, we might be learning to retell the story. At the end of the story, I would then ask them some questions. And what I would do, because I would have everyone muted, is I would sort of introduce some what's called maths talking hands, but I would have it for reading. So if they were to have an idea, I'd just get them to show me a thumbs up with their thumb in front of the camera so that I could see that they're ready to share something. And that would be part of the instructions that I would model and put in place before the session. So I'd say to them, today we're reading this book, blah, blah. What do you think is going to happen? Rah, rah, rah. Cool. Okay. At the end of the story, I'm going to ask you some questions. And if you know the idea, I want you to show a thumb so that I can see, because I might pick you. Okay. And then I would unmute the student that's showing me that they've got their thumb. I would also have some relevant seesaw activities that are linked to the books for an option, not compulsory, because again, like I said, some students have only got access to a phone, and it can be quite difficult to draw and do things on Seesaw on a phone. So I would have it there as an option. Down here, I've got some 5 other ideas that you could do in a reading session if you were targeting reading. Now, thinking about the session is only half an hour. I'm only running a half an hour session. Probably a good 10 minutes of that is going to be them just babbling to each other and just catching up and sharing and just being excited to be being online again. So you've only got about 20 minutes to sort of target one sort of key aspect or something fun for the session. I've got things like, if they were to bring a book, they could read a sentence from their book. It could be the instructional text that I sent home. It could be a book that they've got around the house. Retell a story that they've read at home in only one sentence, so that each only be able to say one sentence. Do a 5-finger retell that they could bring to the session. 5-finger retell is something that we've done in class, so it's not new knowledge. I'm not teaching them brand new things. It's all stuff that we've done. Talk about their favorite part from the book that I read, so we could have a discussion, and then maybe talk about lessons if it was a book that had a lesson to be learnt. Any questions about reading? That is how I will run reading. I'm not doing guided reading. It is literally more like a shared reading type situation. At the end of the session, I would probably do a song or a go noodle or a jump jam, something fun like that. Do you do a Seesaw follow-up for each reading session? Probably not, no. It would depend on the text and what we were focusing on. So maybe if it was a retell, I might get them to do a retell, but it really would depend on the other work I've set for the week and the book. Yeah. Cool. You are so lucky. We're expected to continue teaching new curriculum in all subjects. Wow. That's just really mind-blowing. I mean, yes, totally, it totally makes sense to be able to continue teaching everything, but I mean, we're online. I don't have access to half the stuff I would need. Like, that's, yeah, wow, cool. Do you expect all your students to attend every Zoom session Monday to Friday? No, I don't. It is optional. If they want to come, cool. If they don't, that's up to their parents. And we've made that very clear. My principal has made that very clear as well, that we have got the learning there for them. It is up to the parents whether they want to come. If they don't come, they don't come. I mean, I can't go around to their house and check on them. It's just, I had 100% attendance on my Zoom session on the Friday before the holidays, and I had 94% attendance on the Thursday. Yeah. So it's, yeah, everything that I have set and am setting is optional. There is no compulsory element to it at all. Okay. Awesome. Okay, next day, Wednesday. So Wednesday is a little bit more fun, and I think Wednesday is a little bit more easier to get the kids involved because they can do stuff at their table while they're listening to you. So don't know why I say usually. In class, I usually use the writing process. So I use 4 stages: planning, drafting, editing, and publishing. And I would follow that while I am modeling the process online. So it would start off with some teacher talk. So for writing this week, we're doing insects, and we're using the words can, have, and are, because that is still something that we did in class. It's not new. We spent the last 5 weeks doing insect reports, so we're going to use the same type of language at home. I would introduce the insect, so maybe I might go out into my garden and find an insect. I would then, using my iPad, so I can connect my iPad to the Zoom session via AirPlay or via your cord. So if you are lucky to have an iPad at home, you can connect it to the Zoom session, and it can actually share your display from your iPad, which is super handy. So I would model my drawing on Seesaw Drawings. I would just open a fresh Seesaw drawing and draw my picture plan. I would then talk to them to gather some ideas about what my insect can, so spiders have, or spiders are, or spiders can. And I would write them down around the outside of my writing, like we would in the classroom. I would then show up some, let's just see if it's going to go next. Oh, I skipped it. Oh, go back. Go back. There you go. I would also show up some sentence structures, some sentence frames, sentence stems, whatever you like to call them, to help the writing. So I would then say to my students, this is all on screen share and talking to them, right, cool, now we're going to write about my insect that I found, remember, was a worm. What did the worm have? Oh, okay, how could I use that in a sentence? All right, so I'm going to use it has. And then on my screen, I will also write it has. So I'm modeling the process like at school online for them. And they could be writing about their own insect at the same time. Now, I know that this is like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. How are you going to do this? I teach year 0 to 2. My year 2s, I have no problem that they will be able to do this, because this is similar, very similar to what we do in class. My year 0s would be the ones that I would be targeting. And even if they don't literally write a sentence, if they draw a picture plan, then show everyone in the Zoom session their picture plan, and they dictate me a sentence. So for example, I have a worm. That would be good enough for me, because I'm still thinking, when you're thinking about pre-writing, they need to be able to assign a sentence, some words to their story. They don't have to write it. They need to be able to tell you about their picture. So if they're just telling me, dictating a sentence, that's good enough for me. Those writing frames that I just showed you will change depending on whatever we're writing about. So for this week, we're writing about an insect. So I would have those stems there. At the end, we might have some time to share their story. So we might have some writing time. I'll probably play some relaxing music for about 5 minutes, get them to write some ideas while I'm talking to them. I would probably unmute them all in case they want to ask me, right, what could we do? Where do we find this? I would also display some of our sound cards, which we've got at home, which are pictured there, so that they could use the sounds to help them. Okay, a very low-key, non-stressful type situation. I'm not looking for big giant screeds. I'm literally just looking for some sentences about an idea. It could be shared writing altogether, so they're constructing something with me, or individual writing. Let's just check the chat. I'm feeling much more relaxed. Cool, yeah, awesome. Definitely. I mean, it's just all about thinking. It's just adaptations. Like when we think about how we model in the classroom, we can still model at home. You totally can. And you're very fortunate if you've got an iPad that you can actually model and screen that for them so they can share it. Yes. Do Android tablets connect to Zoom like iPads? Yes, you would have to use a cord though. You wouldn't be able to use a AirPlay, because AirPlay is from Apple devices. So you would be able to plug your cord in, I assume. I'm sorry, I don't have an Android tablet, so I actually don't know 100% the answer to that question. But I would think that you would be able to plug your cord in, and it would bring up the option for screen share. Yeah. Cool. There are some other ideas down there for you as well. Let's just move on because I am mindful of the time. Cool. Thursday, I would move on to word work, phonics, or spelling. Can you go over the iPad screening again, please? Just how to do this for screen share. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's on like the Zoom view. So right now I'm sharing my screen. Cool. I'm sharing my what is it? My website, my Chrome extension, whatever it's called. Yeah, lost for words. There are other options that you can click when you bring it up. Now, when I'm clicking it right now, and I don't think you'll be able to see it because it's part of like the hosts options, but there are some other options there that include screenwriting, so whiteboard writing. So you could actually write with your mouse by clicking on the screen. You could connect via your device. You could connect via AirPlay. And so that means if you've got an Apple iPad, you can screen AirPlay to your Zoom session. So whatever it's showing, let's see if I can do it. Hold on, let me just see if I can get it sorted right now. May as well just have a try while we're doing it right. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see, share screen via AirPlay. Okay, share. Now you need to do screen mirroring my. Cool. Can you see it? Then I would open up Seesaw and I can model what I'm doing and the kids can see it while I'm talking. So you can still hear my voice, but you can also see my screen. So that is how I would set up for modeling. I can just delete that and start again. If you've got other tools there, like Show Me or Explain Everything, you could use that. You could also model the activities. So right here on my class, there are the activities here. So I could model how to do that for my kids and explain that as I'm going. And then when I'm done, all I have to do is click stop share and it will just take me back. So that's a really quick and easy tool to be able to connect to your device. Cool. Let's see, there's a question about that. Is this only on Seesaw? No, I model on Seesaw because I know there's a drawing tool and it's easy to use. You could model on any tool. You just have to be able to screen share. Cool. Okay, Thursday. So Thursday would be our word work, phonics, or spelling, and it's going to vary. It's not going to be a combination. It would probably be one thing. Here I have created a video that shows you, which you can watch in your own time, how I would model a session on blends. So in my classroom, we have a blend of the week, we have a word of the week and a sound of the week. And I have used poems to help this. So I took a screenshot of my poem, uploaded it onto Seesaw. Let's just play it. Here we go. Hopefully it will work.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, can you see my screen there?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, this is our poem, and I'm going to read it to you really quickly one time, and then you're going to help me find some of the ch blends. Cool. So I've got my poem. She's going to help me find the ch blends, and I circle them, and we could read the poem all together. I could then give them this same activity as a follow-up if I wanted to, or it could just be a whole class activity for our blend. You could do the same for sounds. You could do the same for spelling rules. You could do the same for phonics. It really does not matter as long as you could use anything. I've also got this one down here, this little gray activity here, which will open. And it's basically just a find the word activity. Really simple, keeping in mind I'm teaching you 0 to 2s. And it could be something like, okay, everyone in my class, right, how many of the word I can you see? So I would get them to count it and show me on the screen with their hands, right? And I would say, cool, and I'd unmute, blah, blah. All right, blah, blah. How many can you see? They would say 5. I'd be like, yeah, awesome, cool. Next one. Can you, on your screen, touch the word the? So I would then get them to touch the screen, the, with their fingers. And I might ask someone, all right, where can you tell me? Where's the word the? And they would need to, with their words, tell me. So it's next to is, above I, at the top, and you could do it fun ways like that. Find the word, touch the word, say the word. I could just say, all right, let's repeat them after me. So I, they would say I, is, and you would go through like that. Something really simple and quick as a word work activity. There are some other ideas down here too, things like a scavenger hunt. So around your house, go and find me something that's got a T sound. So they could go and get, I don't know, I don't even have anything next to me. Table. Duh. That was really silly. And you could do things like that. You could airplay videos. You could do brainstorms, whole class brainstorms, where they're telling you words that begin with the blend or the sound, and you could write them down for them. You could still do a phonics lesson. You could run a phonics lesson. You could even do handwriting and just small little snippets like that. Nothing too complicated. Keeping in mind, I'm aiming for about 20 minutes of them actually focused with me. Can you please share what you got this poem activity? This is just a screenshot of a poem that I have on my device, on my laptop, and I literally took a photo of it and uploaded it to Seesaw to be able to draw on. That was it, really simple. You could use anything. You could Google a poem like any type of poem, anything you want, and take a screenshot and use it. Yeah, you don't have to make it fancy. It can literally just be as simple as you've got. Cool. Any questions on word work, phonics, or spelling? No, the video is there. It is me modeling the lesson with my daughter, but it was more so that you could see the structure and run and be able to run it and follow along and do it at home if you wanted to. Cool. All right, Friday is maths day. We would use a lot, or I would use a lot of YouTube clips as warm-ups. I like to use scavenger hunts for maths on the Friday. We did a maths scavenger hunt, and it was all about colors. And I said, right, you need to go and find 2 red items and bring them back. So I would give them, I'd count to 10 really loud so they can hear me, like 1, 2, and they had to run, and they'd come back and they'd be holding the items, and I would say, right, okay, off you go, put them back. Okay, now come back. Now we're going to do the next one. Let's find 3 black items. So they need to go and do that. You could make it fun like that. If you are still wanting to do proper and like strategy-based maths, you could model, like I did just before, on your iPad or on your device, explaining using think alouds and teaching them the concept. So if you're doing things like using a number line, you could easily display a picture of a number line and model an example. So if we just use this one here, I could say, right, I've got 5 chocolates. I'm going to get 3 more. How many will I have? So I'd give them thinking time. And like I said, we use the number talk hand signals. So I'd say, cool, if you've got an answer, I want to see your thumbs up in your screen. And then I might pick you to share how you've got it. So I'd give them some thinking time. Cool. When they're done, I'd unmute someone and say, right, what did you get? Can you tell me how you've got it? Oh, so I started off on the 5, and then I did 3 jumps, 1, 2, 3, and I got 8. Cool. Then I might unmute everyone and say, who else got 8? Or we all got 8, or rah, rah, rah. And then if someone didn't get 8, well, I could use that as a quick teaching session. And you could model that with any type of strategy you wanted. Down here, there are some other ideas as well. You could have them just writing numbers down on a piece of paper. So I might say, cool, I'm going to say some numbers to 10, and I want you to write them down on your paper. All right, write down a 5. So give them some time to write down. Write down a 2. Cool. All right, and then at the end, I'd say, cool, turn your papers around. I want to look at all your answers, and you could see the numbers that they have written down. Really simple, quick, easy snippet activities that you could do. A fun one, which I'm looking forward to doing, and I don't actually know how it's going to work, but we'll have a try, is skip counting or counting through everyone in the Zoom. So that, for example, I would say, right, I'd say 1, then somebody else in the Zoom session would say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we would go through everyone saying a number. But I just don't know how that would look in terms of everyone, like in the order, who would say what number. So that's something that I want to work on, because that sounds like a super fun idea for me. How many of your children can see on your Zoom screen? Everyone can see your Zoom screen. So when you've got your Zoom, if you're on screen share, it looks a little bit different. But from what from what I've gathered is that they can see it the exact same way that you see it, in terms of people layout. So when you have it on the grid mode, it actually shows them all in the order that they all see it at the same time. Okay, I actually can't confirm that because I've never been a participant in a Zoom, but from what I've gathered and from what I can see on the screen when I put it in the grid mode is that they all see it the same way I do. Can you screenshot the class, place it on Seesaw, then circle them in twos? Yeah, totally. Yeah, you could do. You could take a screenshot of all your class members and then have them say it in that order. So you would say like, I'll be number 1, blah, blah, you'd be 2, blah, blah, 3, 4, 5, and then you could go like that. Yeah, cool. Okay. Another thing that I said I was doing was one-on-one Zoom sessions, reading with the teacher. And this is when I am actually going to be specifically doing guided reading. Not guided reading. It's more like picture talk guided reading. And I got this idea from the lady that I went to her PLD for, and it's using something called Oxford Owl ebooks. Now, I don't know if you have seen them or used them before, but I'm just going to really quickly show you about them. So this is a English program, and you can filter by age groups. So say, for example, if I was looking for a magenta book, so a pink, maybe like a level 1 or 2, you can find books that have really minimal words that your children will be able to read with you. So let's see if this one has. So you would have to screen these first. You can't just pick a book for the session. You would have to first find the book that you want for your kid. And my students would book in these sessions with me, and I would display the book like you can see now. Let's see if this one's got really simple words. Cool. So I would say this probably would be like a level 3 book. So we would do a lot of work around the pictures, around the front cover. All right, the book is called Can You See Me? Oh, what do you think might happen in the story? And I would be engaging with my student, asking some questions. All right, so let's just quickly go over those words. What's this word again? Can you see me? Yep, awesome, lovely. And then what we could do is I could read to them. They could read to me. We could both read together. And like when I said, it's not guided reading because it's really hard. Well, I think it could potentially be quite hard to teach a reading strategy online in a session like this without an actual book. So it's more going to be around picture talk or high frequency words and things like that. The book actually does play it out loud too, but I mean, I don't need that feature because I'm going to be reading it with my students. Here is a video of me and my daughter modeling the session to show you what it would look like. Now, there are lots and lots of different ebooks on here. It is free to use. You would just need to screen the books and find one that suited your child that you're booking in with. So these are one-on-one sessions. Now, you could also just use a book that you sent home. Me, I know that I sent home 3 to 4 books per kid, but I actually can't for the life of me be able to tell you which book that is or who's got what book. So using something like this could help them, and they can access these books from home as well. I can see some questions. We use them all really good. Awesome. Yes, they are free. Decodable options. I don't know if there are decodable options. Wait, yes, no, I think there are. I think there might be if there's like phonics sections, so that could probably be decodable sections, phonics ones, that you could use. But keeping in mind, like I'm just trying to keep what we've got going. I'm not trying to teach something new. So in this session, when I have with the kids, it will be targeting something that we have done before, like all right, when we get to it, what are we going to do? We're going to look at the picture cues. Okay, we're going to look at the sounds. All right, let's stretch it out. What sounds can you hear? And it's me sort of coaching them. It's not a guided reading session. I mean, that's going to be quite I mean, if you can make it work, totally, but then you're sort of crossing the line between making it just like a reading session and then you're trying to replace what you're doing in the classroom. And we kind of can't replace what we're doing because we're online in a completely different setting. Cool. Yep, Sunshine Online is free as well with similar ones too. I mean, it's just what you want to do. Yeah, you can even use Epic. I know Epic has got some quite young books. You just have to find ones that suit your kid, your one-on-one kid. How do children book a one-on-one reading session with you? They have access to my Google Calendar to be able to book a session. So it's pre-booked, pre-made up with a template with appointments, and they click the booking time that they want and they book in that way, and then they join the Zoom chat, and it's just me and them in the Zoom. We do the reading session, then they leave, then the next person hops on, and that's when I use the waiting room to have the other person sitting there waiting if they come early for their time. Yeah, cool. Okay. Some other Zoom conference activity ideas. So these are some really quick posters that I made for you. If you are looking for a pretty poster version of what I've said, you can click on this link here and it will take you to that for you, for yourself. Another thing that I really quickly wanted to share, which I have made specifically for parents in mind, is this Home Learning with Mrs. Presley Google site. I know what it is like to have no clue what to do. Not everyone is a teacher, and I know parents are really stressing. So what I did was I took the time last week to design something that I thought parents could use to help them. Now, this is not targeted at a teacher level. This is definitely for parents, but there could be some ideas in there that teachers might use. It is in different categories. So for reading, for example, it's got links to some things that could help them at home. So I made these really quick reading strategy posters that parents could use. Keeping in mind, this is all for younger students. There's a poster here, and there's a video of me explaining what that is for parents. So there's a few there. So they would be like your learning intentions. There's me reading some books. If we go up to writing, let's see what's next, writing. There's more ideas here. This I made specifically for those parents that when their students write will have no idea how to decipher what it means. So I've sort of made a few help sheets to show what it could look like and how they could connect with what their students have written at home. So you could be looking for things like a capital letter, and you might, I'm talking from a parent point of view, and you might be like, oh, wow, awesome, I can see you've got a capital letter in your work, fantastic. And they sort of progress along up to what would be like a 1A, maybe early 2B type of level. And then there is an explanation of me explaining that for parents, plus some sounds. Parents, oh my gosh, it drives me nuts. They say, right, let's sound out the word to, and they go T-O, to, and you're like, no, it's not, the sound is a T. So this, even if you just share this, could tell them the sounds that the letters make. And there are some other resources there for parents. There is more, I'm not going to go into it. Have a look. The one thing I will quickly share will be all of this work that I did on word work, which is high frequency word practice, and it is a bunch of videos and flashcards that students could use to practice their high frequency words at home. So here we go. They could run through it. They can say it at home, like at. They could push my, and then there's a video here that's sort of like a little test, and it goes through the different level book words, and then these ones here are just practice ones to just repeat after me type thing. So that is all there. The link is on the slide deck. Where do we find all those marvelous things you have created? All of the links are in the slide deck for this session. So if you just click on the pictures, it will take you straight to the other links. I've also shared this Google site on the New Zealand Teachers Facebook page as well. My most annoying thing will be parents spelling things out for my students and not letting or helping them have a go. Totally. I 100% agree and can see that happening. I have been sent a couple of pictures of kids' work, and I can see that the parents have significantly helped. And that's sort of why I wanted to show them that writing like this is still writing, and they don't need to go and write all the corrections above it. It could just be something that looks like scribbles, and that is a child's work. And what I'm trying to show parents here is that it does start like this and it does progress, but that this still does contain a message. So, I mean, if this helps, great. If it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Did you create these videos yourself for keywords, or are they online? I did make them myself. They are not available online. They are built into this Google site. But if you wanted the videos, I could put them into a playlist on YouTube. I'm going to write myself a note about that. If you would like a copy of those videos, can you just put a little yes in there, and I'll put them on my YouTube channel? Yes. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, lovely. YouTube channel with videos. I will look into doing that, and I'll let you guys know when that's sorted. Cool. Okay. Don't think there was anything else. No, right. Are there any questions about anything that I have done? Keeping in mind, please, that this, I like I said at the beginning, I was very anxious to share this just because of how judgmental people have been online at the moment in terms of still trying to keep like normality. So I really hope this has helped a little bit. And if not, I mean, I'm open to suggestions, share things. I mean, yeah, if you've got a question, pop it on now and I can answer it for you. The slides will be there forever. The recording will be up on my YouTube channel later. So if you need to come back and think, oh my gosh, what was it that she did? Go and check that. You're more than welcome to message me anytime. Just going to check for messages. How do you get all this done? I just chip away at it. Very organized person. I just do it. Do I usually do play-based learning? Yes. I do like my own version of play-based learning. In terms of, we have play time built into our time in the classroom. So I sort of have taken it from the point of view that this work is there for them to do over the week. I would expect them to still be playing at home. I've had so many messages from parents sharing photos of the things that they've been doing that are like play-based. And so I'm not trying to discourage that. I just want them to have this work there if they want it. If they want more, I have got more there ready for them. And if they don't do it, then that's up to them. I can't force them. I mean, we can only do what we can do. I've put in a lot of time to make this for them. And if they don't want to use it, it's all good. It is what it is. Just like what you do in the classroom. If they value it, they do. If they don't, then they don't. And you're never going to be able to have a happy medium between everybody. Student, teachers, parents, senior leadership, principals. You're never going to be able to please everyone. Cool. Awesome. Lovely. Any questions? No. That's okay. We did find out who was writing on the screen, and that is no worries. It's all good. The person has apologized. No worries at all. I just thought that it might have been a Zoom bomber. I've read some articles about people that have had people like draw really like naked penis, or like penises, naked men and things, and in sessions, so I didn't want that, but that's cool. No worries. How many activities would you put into Cecil for them? I will have all my activities there on the Monday. Yeah, only because I can think of 3 kids that are going to do everything, all the must-dos on the Monday, and I can think of a couple of kids that would probably do it on the Friday. So I'm going to have it all there ready for them on Monday. Not today, obviously, so it would all be there ready on Wednesday. What I did forget to say was I'm actually running a parent session tomorrow for my parents in my class to actually unpack all of this for them, because I don't want them to be out of the loop. So I'm running a one-off parent session with the parents in my class, again, optional, for them to come along and have me explain all of this for them. Not in terms of like an in-depth level like you guys got, but more explaining that home learning deck that I showed you. That's what I will talk through with them. So, I mean, you could always do that if you think your parents would be keen. Totally, you can sort that out too. Cool websites for PE. Go Noodle. Yes, Les Mills have got free classes. They've had that going all holidays. I get up at 9 o'clock and do the Les Mills classes every morning. They have kids classes at 3 o'clock on Channel 2. And I know that with all the TV channels that they've put in as well, there will be more free stuff for them on TV too. So if you are wanting more, definitely head over to that too. Cool. Yeah, that's it. I don't think there's any other questions. I really hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for coming along, and have a great start back. Please, if you've got any questions, get in contact. If you're just struggling with an idea, like send me a message. It's all good. I'm more than happy to help. Have a great day, great time at school, and good luck for your week ahead.